Hey guys, it's Trent. Step one of building the strategic plan for the Character Council, and it's about building our vision. Okay, so we've already started building this vision. There's two actions. There's going to be two videos that you're going to get. This is the first one in step one. So we've already cast this vision of these buckets or these funnels that feed down into this organization called the Character Council. Okay, met today with David Kynell, and there's actually a strategy that's going to fit right on top of here, and I'm going to talk to you about that here in a second. But here's the thing that we want to do is we want to create a vision around these three funnels, and the funnel of commerce, the funnel of community, and the funnel of content. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, the first action we're going to do is, for each one of you has been assigned one of these funnels, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at 3 to 5 models of organizations that do a good job with content, do a good job with building community, and do a good job with different ways of putting commerce together. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this thing of 3 to 5 to start thinking about best practices and what works out there in the marketplace, so we can get an idea of what this strategy looks like. Okay, so what we need to do is fill those 3 to 5 in. Okay, that's what we're asking you to do. Video 2 is going to go through the process, and it's a process called the learning circle, and I'll explain that to you here in a second. So once we identify these 3 to 5, what's going to happen is I'm going to go through those learning circles with you. So you're going to have these 3 to 5 things here, and we're all going to have our best practices. And then after we get these and we put these all together, when we get into the learning circle, what we're going to do is we're going to start connecting the dots. We're going to connect this one to this one to this one, and we're going to start prioritizing these things that we see to get financially stable and build a model that works for the Character Council. So what we're going to do is, out of these best practices, we're going to start connecting some dots, and that's going to lead to our strategy. And we're going to understand why we chose to do what we do in our strategy. Okay? Now, one of the things that we need to think about is, what I want you guys to do, your second action item is, I want you to look at some mission and value statements. Okay? So the mission and value statements of companies. Pick a company, any company in town, but let's look at 2 of those mission and value statements. Okay, so I want you to pick 2 of those mission and value statements, not of the 3 to 5 companies that you chose as best practices. And what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at those mission and value statements, because the why we do what we do, we're going to run through an exercise of how do we make these words that are in these mission and value statements pop off the wall, because character is going to call them back into action. I'll get into that later. Okay, but the main thing of this whole thing is we need to take these 3 buckets, get best practices from 3 to 5 organizations, so that we can build this strategy and know exactly why we made the choices that we made. I'll give you more on that in a little bit, but actually we're working through the strategy piece right now. So step 1 is, in your bucket, choose 3 to 5 companies and look at that have a good, whatever your action item is, that they have a good model for that, and let's get those models out. And then video 2 will show how we're going to analyze those models to roll them up into the strategy. So that's video number 1. Go to video number 2 now, and you will see how we're going to analyze what you guys come up with.